Greetings, folks. Greetings. May the 4th Doctor be with you. Yes, this is not going to be anything about Star Wars, no. But it's May the 4th Doctor be with you. That's right. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream tonight. We are doing a little special backstage screen room of the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker. Yep. This is the only May the 4th be with you that it should be. That's right. This is the only one that counts. Because I said so. And, well, it's freaking Tom Baker, man. 4th Doctor. May the 4th be with you. That's right. So, greetings out there in YouTube land. Hello, Tubian. That's right. May the 4th be with you. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day today. We'll be starting the episode in about 8 minutes or so. I want to give some people time to get in here, chill out if they want to be up on the panel. You know, the link is at the top of the page. As we watch the Doctor, I even think we need to edit my icon for the day. Yes, it's May the 4th. Jelly baby. And we'll say hi to Professor Brainy Specs. He was in here first a while ago, and Allison Stevens Music. But we are lined up and ready to go with the 4th Doctor's very first adventure, Robot. No, Josh, no fairies. Yes, Allison Stevens. It does make sense that Tom Baker would be one of the favorites, even though it was before your time. I grew up watching the old classic Who's. Tom is my favorite. Always will be. Yes, maybe the special effects were a little cheesy and such, but they had good stories, and well, Tom Baker is the Doctor. Excuse me. But yes, I happen to be lucky. I have my hands on pretty much every single episode of Doctor Who that you can possibly get your fingers on. I'm one of those lucky ones. But the link for the screening room is there in the chat, so you can watch the episode in quiet. Yeah, it was 2005, Eccleston. He was a good Doctor. Shame only last one season. Though I can understand that he was butting heads with those at the BBC and had issues with them, and I don't blame him for leaving. It was a shame that he at least couldn't come back for the 50th. We wouldn't even have had a War Doctor if Eccleston could have came back, because that was originally going to be his part. But for you want to watch the episode, the screen room, right up there, the link for Kusemi. That will link you into the room. And we got Elihu.
May the force be with you.
So what are you doing, Elihu?
This is me, dude. I don't know what you're doing over there, but this is me.
No, I'm over here.
Hey, the title says, May the Fourth be with who? Me. Yeah, of course, me. I'm Elihu who? See, I'm the doctor.
No, I'm the doctor.
I'm the doctor.
I'm the doctor.
I am the original, one and only, true doctor.
I am the doctor, but probably not the one you were looking for.
Yeah, I don't want to play doctor with you, so.
And Allison asks, how many years lapsed between Old Who and Chris Eccleston? Any ideas? Well, the series went into hiatus in 1989. There was the brief television movie that tried to kickstart it back again.
Yeah, where he was half human, non-canon.
No, it's canon. Got to remember, the doctor always lies. So he was just lying about being half human.
That's true.
And Paul McGann went on and did, and is still doing, an extended run of his doctor on the audios.
You know, I just popped on here to say hi and may the force be with you.
Yep. 3 minutes. I'm going to start the Fourth Doctor's first episode that he was in, Tom Baker, Robot.
Well, I'm getting ready to play Jep Nerdy on Bob White's channel a little bit.
Yeah, you're going over there to lose your card, so it'll be okay.
Then I'm going to hop back and forth from Bickford for Chaos Central. So,
well, I promised people I would do the Fourth Doctor on May the 4th, and here I am.
Here I am.
No, here I am.
Here I am.
And hello, Bradley. There are no Jedis over here.
I'm the Doctor. I don't see.
I'm the Doctor, dude. But any single women want to play Doctor with me, yeah, I have no problem with that.
Elihu, who? Jeez.
What?
Shaking my head. Well, Bradley, I'm not doing bad. Getting ready to do a little watch party. The Fourth Doctor.
Okay, did you have fun with your baker? I'm going to hang out and watch the Jep Nerdy thing until my turn comes up.
Yep, and I will be watching Twitter to see when you get your nerd card revoked.
Never.
Hey, you got some stiff competition tonight.
I know, Michael's my tier. Shit.
You got JJ over there too, I think, so you're in trouble.
Oh, actually, tier 1 is Chris, NB, and JJ so far.
Ah. Well, you still got stiff competition.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to volunteer for that thing because I only really care about the original trilogy. I don't give a shit about any of the other Star Wars movies. I'm a Trekkie, damn it. And a Whovian.
So am I. Broncos unite.
I guess I could do one little Doctor Who thing before we start this.
I'm trying to send a distress signal. Stop talking about doctors.
I'm a doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
I'm the doctor.
No, Doctor, I'm the Doctor, and I say that you're not fit.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the Doctor.
The original, you might say.
The definite article.
But probably not the one you expected.
Yep, there we go. And hello, Sven. All right, it is 7 o'clock. Oh, and he's got to put up the rock and roll.
Of course. The rock and roll doctor. Awesome, dude.
And Missy. You had
Had
busy there.
I had to.
Yep. All right. So, last chance, I'm going to throw the link for the screening room in to the chat for those that want to see this episode. And
Okay, you take it easy, Deej. I'm
hey,
gonna
Elihu.
come on, pop up and say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Later, people. Later, Deej. I'll probably be back.
All right. I'll be here for a little while watching Doctor Who.
Okay.
And we're hitting play right now.
Later, people.
Good night, Allison Stevenson. And here we go. Starting off with the regeneration from the third Doctor to the fourth. We have Sarah Jane Smith and the Brigadier. Good night, Allison. Why is the mouse on spins? Yep, it's the Doctor. Yes, he's done it again. He's regenerated. Hello, Jedi Bill. Screening room's open. We are watching the very first episode of Tom Baker as the Doctor. And the link, of course, is up on the top if you want to join the panel as we watch Robot. We have a robot coming up to some sort of a military installation. Of course, the Doctor's still out of it because he just regenerated. It's Clamps. Looking for Bender. Okay, it's not Clamps. But he does have an impressive clamps for hands. Yes, young Sullivan's a good doctor. Sarah Jane calling the Brigadier a swinger as the doctor sneaks around the hallways trying to get back to the TARDIS. Yeah, where's the key? Come on, check your shoe. But I'm the doctor. Yeah, let's see. That's right. That's right, the doctor is fit. That's right. Yeah. Now they're both jumping rope. Yep. The doctor's locked in the Harry, at least, locked in the cupboard. And there goes the TARDIS. Yes, sir. Why can't I? Very serious business. Poor old Sullivan, finally getting untied from the... No, it's not Alex. Let Rich do it. And now we're back to the robot, folks. Yes, Harry Sullivan is an imbecile. Jubian. I almost did one of the Dalek episodes or a Cyberman episode, but I figured tonight we should do the very first episode of Tom Baker as the Doctor. And this robot is just pushing its way right through the barred door. Yeah. I'm sorry, pulling a phone off the wall is not going to make it shoot sparks and blow up. No. Yes, Doctor. Doctor is now changing outfits and he looks like a Viking. A Viking with a shield and sword. So now he goes back into the TARDIS to change again. Now he comes dressed like from the royal court. Nope. Go back in and change again. And now he comes out as a clown. Yes, Professor, I probably should have. Finally, he comes out with the scarf and hat. Pulverized dandelion. Something stepped on it that weighed 1/4 of a ton. Yes. Disintegrator gun. And now we're back to Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane, Sarah Jane. That girl. That's right. Hello, Chief.
Hey, DJ.
Yo,
Hey, what's up, man? May the fourth be with you. Where you doing, man?
what?
May the fourth be with you, man. Hey, the force. Hear me?
No force.
Okay.
The fourth Doctor.
I saw you popped on strings. So I say hi real quick.
Yeah, I'm doing a watch party of the very first episode of the fourth Doctor.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Link to the screening rooms in the chat.
Oh, gotcha. Who's all here? Oh, okay, I see it.
Ah, Curtis.
And this is up. Is it no one or Owen?
Unit is on the scene. Okay, so they have everything covered around and above. But not protected from below. And as we look back, here comes the robot up from the ground inside the bunker where the focusing lasers components are. He's dead, Harry. Look at that hairstyle, folks. nobody has the ability to carry on the work of the robotics. I'm sure there's a few that we could name. Use your pass while it's still valid, Sarah Jane. And Chief Cook will be right back. That's right, Curtis. Real bad hair day. It's a big freaking robot. And there goes Sarah Jane sneaking in while the guard is busy on the phone. Run, Sarah, run. Hello, old media guy. Uh-oh, Sarah Jane's in trouble, folks. But don't worry. Tiki. Turn me into MI6. Hey, I can get out of the Tower of London. Not a problem, Tiki. That's right. And I left the classic titles in on this and the music. We're going to have the full effect. I was only 2 years old when this came out. I think 73. By Terrence Dix, Part 2. Well, get ready for robots there, Sarah Jane, because you'll have canine one day. I'm right here, LDG. We are watching Doctor Who. May the 4th Doctor be with you. Oh, sure. The Prime Directive. Built in now, but it can be changed. Well, let's see. There was Bessie, but the doctor gave that Kara the pet name. But yeah. And there will be canine one day, so yeah, she likes her robots. Hello, Robert Rose. Well, Robert, I'm playing the first episode of Tom Baker in the screen room. Mr. Jellicoe. Who won and Bessie? So who won could fly. That's right. We can turn this on and off with a screwdriver, folks. And it doesn't even have to be a sonic screwdriver. An old media guy, 4K of RAM, that's a lot back then. Uh-oh. No, Curtis. It was using Windows 73. Even before Windows was there. Yeah, I always have issues with the unit dating issue. The doctor knows how to deal with him. No, it's not Project Prometheus. Not yet. Yes, unit has a dating service. Now, the robot used the gun to blow the wall out, but then chokes the dude. And then shoots at the little door for what's inside, when he probably could have just pulled it off easily. Tiki said that scientist looks like the bad guy from Mega Man. Or one of them from World of Warcraft. And the doctor is laying down, taking a nap. Rats. There is a conflict. Hello, games. No, this is not a Star Wars stream. Just like Professor Brainy Speck said, this is May the 4th Doctor be with you. It is Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor. The flying saucer people and the flat earthers. Oh my God. Wonder if Darren Wagner knows that Sarah Jane was covering his subject so long ago. Shortcut. Chase them out the other way. always thinking. Poor robot. That's impressive. Super fast typing with a manual typewriter. Yes, there are a lot of doctors in this episode, but there is only one doctor. And now the doctor has arrived at Professor Kenowitz. The professor, the robot, they're all gone. Or are they? There's the robot. Like a few little ball bearings were going to stop him. Hey, howdy, Poe. Happy 4th. And he uses his hat to cover his face sensor, and the robot stops moving. And karate chop, sneak attack. Uh-oh. The doctor looks like he's in trouble. And that's the end of episode 2. And while we listen to the music, Professor Brainy Speck says, "Oh, dating issue. Unit's first story takes place in 1979 in the second Doctor story of the invasion. Yet the Brigadier claims to have retired from Unit in 1977. In the fifth Doctor story, Baldwin Undead. How did the Brigadier retire before Unit's first proper story? In an upcoming story, Sarah Jane claims to be from 1980. Writing. Even the writing back then, they didn't follow it as closely as they needed to. We're halfway through this, folks. Of course, now we get to see the whole fight scene with the robot again. Hello, multi-gunman. Going good. We're watching The Fourth Doctor. Tom Baker. We have a robot trying to destroy the Doctor. Everybody was robot fighting. Okay. Bad teach. Yeah, what is the prime directive? Serve humanity. No, multi-gunman. That is the Doctor. That was the Doctor that was prior to this one, Robert. That would be the third Doctor, which you saw briefly at the very beginning of this first episode when they regenerated. It was Pertwee's Doctor that was stuck on Earth as a punishment from the Time Lords. And as you can see, as Sarah Jane pulls up, the Fourth Doctor is still driving Bessie. We get a quick cameo of Bessie in this one. The old yellow car. Need something bigger than the little pop shot guns they're using on the robot, though. Wrap a chain around its legs. Watch it fall over like an AT-AT. Jeez. Yes, it can, Professor. It can do a lot on that 4K. Dude still needs a haircut, though. Always dangerous. That's right, Benton. Shut up, Benton. He's not sergeant anymore, though, Professor. Dun, dun, dun. I still laugh at him as Cranks, damn it. There you go, using the scarf as a weapon. Let him walk on it and then sweep it out from under him and let him fall on his head. She's not a spy, she's a reporter. Yeah, what? Oh, come on, Sarah Jane. Just drop down real fast so they can shoot the others. Not that hard to do. But no, they got to make this drag out further. Yeah, that building was sure surrounded. No escape, huh? Oh, there goes Sullivan. Yeah, broken head. And yes, that is one big cell phone there, old media guy. And yes, same ammo as the A-Team. I agree, Professor. Shoot out the tires. And we get to see Bessie again, at least. The doctor should have put some kind of a hidden homing tracking device on Sarah Jane as much as she gets in trouble. Get back, get back. Hello, old media.
Hey, how you doing?
Just chilling.
This is how we should chill, watching classic Doctor Who.
That's right. Somebody's got to show some of these classic Who's to some of these new ones these days.
Yeah. She plays this part so well.
Yeah, she does.
That wretched woman.
No, don't destroy Harry. So this is when they needed K9. K9 could have just went in and wiped everything out.
There you go.
Yeah, take out the landmines first. The good sonic screwdriver. Uh-oh. Disintegrator gun. Oh, Sarah Jane, the robot's not going to just listen to you.
I like the music.
Yep. Now, I'm kind of wondering why the doctor just didn't use his sonic screwdriver on the robot and screw up its pathways.
Keep it confused, feed it with a lot of useless information. I wonder if he has a television set handy.
They're out by the woods. I doubt they got a TV with them.
Yeah.
This is the early 70s. Oh, we got a cute little tank they borrowed from a Godzilla movie. Didn't even get a shot off. Just like Godzilla, takes the tanks right out. The much better theme music than the crap they play nowadays. At least way better than the Whitaker theme music.
I like her title graphics. I like that sequence. That's about as far as I get.
Yeah, I can't get much further into it either. I've melted my brain trying to watch her episodes, and I'll never do it again.
Yeah, me too.
So far, though, this is a good episode to have on May the 4th, Doctor.
Absolutely.
I should find a day each week and just do some classic Who.
That'd be nice. When I was growing up, it was always Sundays at noon.
When I was growing up, it was always Saturday nights at 10 p.m.
Oh. I have to admit, my mother would not have let me stay up that late, so I'm glad it was Sundays at noon.
Oh, I used to sneak staying up just to watch it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like I'd have to sneak and stay up late on Sunday nights just for Dr. Demento.
Yeah, Dr. Demento is Sunday nights. That's right.
Hey, we get to watch the Japanese Godzilla tank get waylaid again.
I wonder if it'll do better this time.
No, looks like the outcome's the same. Damn it. Still didn't get a shot off. Maybe next time.
Next time.
Well, at least he's giving warnings to go now.
He delivered that line so well. With both of these actors, fantastic.
That's the thing we miss about Doctor Who today.
Mm.
Good actors. Hello, Commodore Ty.
Hey, Commodore. Curtis Simpkins says this is much better than that CGI stuff, and I have to agree. It's much more fun.
Yep. Episodes like this would never fly nowadays, though. People have too short of attention spans.
Mm.
They couldn't handle these in-depth stories.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, not anything. So the doctor was thinking he could have just fly his TARDIS into it and smash it. Yeah, only 80 seconds.
Love the blue lighting back there.
No time.
Are you kidding? You're running Unix. You've got time.
Yep. Got the time stopped for now. No. It would be billions. No, you must not. Uh-oh, you killed Daddy. Robot down. Robot down.
I love how Sarah wanted to stay and help the robot, but in the end she left because she didn't know what else to do.
Yep.
Very human, very human instinct.
No, but Sarah Jane, well. Even though later Sarah Jane hates guns.
Yeah. If this had not been a family program, she would have said, "You'd never use a brigadier," and there would have been a bang, and she'd have fallen to the floor.
Yep. That is true.
It's very true. I wish the countdown would have stopped at 4. That would have been fun. Maybe it was supposed to, and the scene ran long.
Uh-oh, robot's back up. Thought she'd gone home. Okay, so it's going to kill everybody but Sarah. Silly robot. Poor Mr. Benton. I thought the bunker was cleared.
That guy snuck in to have a pee.
There was still one unit guy running around. Only 2 seconds left. The robot's going to activate it. Boom! Oh, convenient. The
That was
timer
really
restarted.
convenient.
Machines don't lie.
Machines don't lie, but they can spy.
Why didn't they do that the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, but you can be destroyed. Hell, one Dalek shows up and kick your ass, robot. Freaking Cyberman could take you down, robot. Nauton can take you down. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, not an Auton.
At least they took the disintegrator away from him, at least. Come on, Brigadier, grab the disintegrator and see if it works on him. No, it's just making him grow.
It's amazing how he doesn't cast a shadow.
I know. No shadows from him. Oh, now we're going to get our King Kong shot. Now we've got King Kong.
Hail, Bruce Lombardo.
Oh, Bruce.
Professor Brainy Specs, love these effects. Me too.
Yep. A launcher and grenades now. You made them bigger. You've made them more impervious. And you're blowing shit up around Sarah. Way to go, people.
Those cars probably belong to the BBC, too.
Well, stomp on them. Oh, wait a minute. He's throwing people around.
You're running towards it, dude. No, don't. No, I bet she was wearing red underneath that outfit.
All right.
Bruce, we are watching Tom Baker's very first Doctor Who story.
Robot don't know which ones to chase. And here comes Bessie.
See, that's what killed the amazing Colossal Man right there. So,
Yeah, but it didn't work on the robot.
no.
Yeah, get her off the top of the building, damn it.
Get her a really big ladder.
Nom, 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 nom.
There's Tom Baker at his grandiose best.
I'm melting. I'm melting.
That's exactly what it is.
So we've taken from Godzilla, King Kong, and now the Wizard of Oz, all in the first episode of
And the amazing Colossal Man.
That's right. And the Amazing Colossal. There's nothing left. Would have been funnier if we just shrank down to a little toy size. Jelly baby.
Liz Sladen was such a, yeah, she was such a fine actor.
And now that he's done regenerating, he can't karate chop the brick. Do it. Do it. Go. Oh, yes, they do.
He obviously hasn't been watching this series.
Nope.
So this was the first Doctor Who I ever saw, so I didn't know what he was seeing. I didn't even know it was bigger on the inside.
Not until the next episode.
I don't think they actually showed the interior of the TARDIS until the next season. Something like, I can't remember which one it was, but it was a while.
No, they did show it. I think the next episode. Because I know they showed it when Genesis of the Daleks, and that was like the 4th episode of this season.
Genesis of the Daleks had the time ring. They actually had lost the TARDIS by that point. They didn't get it back till Revenge of the Cybermen. We didn't see it then. We don't see it in Terror of the Zygons. I don't think it's seen, the interior is seen during the whole of the time Harry Sullivan is with them. But it'd be fun to, watch these again just to see which one of us is right,
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to continue the 4th Doctor here this month. Just not on Saturday nights, because that's when I do Sci-Fi Saturday nights, and I do all the old classic movies. It's like this Saturday coming up, I'm going to play The Final Countdown with Kirk Douglas.
Oh, yeah. That's an interesting one.
We did Meteor last Saturday night with Sean Connery.
I've never seen that one.
Shoot, we even, when I first started doing these, I did, first one was Death Race 2000. But yeah, folks, that was the first episode with Tom Baker. May the 4th Doctor be with you. Everybody else is doing crummy Star Wars all day, so somebody had to do it. Tom Baker. And of course, since it was the Doctor.
I'm trying to send a distress signal. Stop talking about doctors.
I'm a doctor.
I'm the doctor.
I'm the doctor!
No, Doctor, I'm the Doctor, and I say that you're not fit.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the doctor.
The original, you might say.
The definite article.
But probably not the one you expected.
That was fun.
Yeah, I had LDG make that up for me, so I'd have these little clips to play during the shows. And since Doctor Who is my big favorite, it had to be the Doctor. Well, at least the ones that I like the best.
Yeah, that sounds good. If you do another one, what do you think it'll be?
I may continue this next week, maybe the same day, same time, with the next episode of Tom Baker's run.
Nice.
I think I may just go all month long with some Doctor Who's here, there, and everywhere, and see what happens. Because, like I said, I have every episode that you can get your fingers on of Doctor Who.
Nice.
From Hartnell on up.
Have you bought any of the Blu-rays?
A couple, but not as many yet.
Yeah, me too. I am impressed with the remastering they've done, both the audio and the visual.
I was just scanning real quick on the next one.
The next one should be season 24. That would be
Ark of Space.
McCoy's first season, which means Professor Brainy Specs better buy it. Just saying.
Yep.
And then later this year, there's supposed to be the Web of Fear Blu-ray, and this is a rumor with a capital R. Episode 3 was returned, and that delayed the release of the Blu-ray because obviously now they're not going to show the Telesnap version of Episode 3. They're going to replace it with the Episode 3. However, I am only repeating what I've heard, and what I've heard could be wrong.
True. And it's weird because I've got a couple of different versions of Shada.
Yeah. So what, 3 now?
Yep. Because you had Tom Baker. Then
VHS.
Then they put out an animated version with Paul McGann.
Yeah. And then we have Ian Levine's unofficial version, that's 3. And then the new release on Blu-ray with Tom Baker again. So there's actually 4.
Yep.
Now, apparently what they were planning to do with Paul McGann's Doctor is cherry pick the best episodes from the classic run and redo them with modern science fiction budgets and props and all the rest. Part of me says that, yeah, that wouldn't have worked. And the other part of me would like to have seen how that would have worked out, because you take a story like The Keys of Marinus or The Daemons and up the budget significantly, it could be a pretty good story. I mean, I like them anyway, especially Keys of Marinus, but you could get the average viewer to watch them, I think, if the budget were a tad higher.
Other episodes like Terror of the Zygons might be interesting with a little.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you could do really fun things with that one, like have a dog run up and they go, oh, what a nice doggy. And they walk away and the dog changes into a Zygon.
What I would like to see, though, is at least redo more of the lost episodes that they have at least the audio with.
Yes. There's a rumor they're going to do Evil of the Daleks as animation. And I'm not holding my breath because we just don't know if they're going to do it. And even if they do, it could turn out like Fury from the Deep, where the people who did the animation clearly did not know what they were doing.
The one I would like to see, though, is a reconstructive of the 10th planet.
Mm. Now, do you have the DVD?
I don't have the DVD, but I do have an earlier copy of it where part 4 was reconstructed using pictures from the episode.
Mm-hmm. The animated version they released on the DVD is quite good. The style is very different from the live action, unlike, say, The Invasion, where they kept it quite close. But it is very good.
And yes, Professor
Rainy Specs. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, hopefully more like The Invasion or Power of the Daleks.
Yeah, yeah. Power of the Daleks Special Edition is actually really, really good. Maybe one or two things that are superior in the original, but on the whole, it's worth buying. Of course, if they do Evil, they have a... Well, no, they don't have a problem. The original version of Evil, Episode 1, had Rain by the Beatles in it. Mm-hmm. And they had to take it out because Sony, who owns the Beatles catalog, says, oh, sure, you can have the rights to that if you pay us, more money than your DVD is worth. So they had to electronically remove the song, that song and one other song, and replace them with something they could use. And that's what you get when you listen to the Audible version or buy the CD. So I imagine that is what they will use on the animation if it is made.
Yvette wants to see the Evil of the Daleks because it has the very first Emperor in it.
Hmm.
I just wish they'd get rid of Whitaker and let Paul McGann do a run.
Yeah, if ever they were going to do something weird, like Doctor Who gets thrown into some sort of time door and gets splintered in time and has to find her / whatever way back into reality, and then do one season of McGann, one season of Eccleston, or whatever, that would be, I mean, this would be the time to do it.
Or Sean Pertwee. Bring him in, play his father's doctor.
He's been asked and he keeps saying no, sadly, because he's perfect.
But he sits there and cosplays as his father.
I
in
know.
his pictures. It's
I
like,
know.
come on, quit teasing us. Just do it. Damn it,
Professor
just do it.
Brainiacs.
You're
Professor
not on-
Brainiacs. You give me this impression of you interrogating Sean Pertwee. He's like, I just wanted to leave. No, not until you put on the wig and costume.
He's not doing Gotham anymore, so he's got free time now.
Professor Brainy Specs wants to see the Dalek Master Plan, and Yvette Duvall wants to see all the Lost Dalek episodes. When did the Michael Jackson estate sell off the Beatles catalog? As far as I remember, and this has been a while, the estate did not. Michael ran into some financial issues because he was building Neverland Ranch at a rate that was faster than his music income was accruing. And he released a box set called History, which was kind of a retrospective of all of his stuff that was all remastered, and it was expected to sell like hotcakes, and it didn't. And in order to pay off the debts that had amounted during all of this, he had to sell some of his stuff. And the most important thing he owned was the Beatles music catalog, which he sold to Sony. So that's what I understand to have happened.
His plan to get a hold of Elvis's music didn't pan out like he planned. I think that was his whole idea of marrying Lisa Marie, was to try to get his fingers on Elvis's catalog too, and it just didn't work out for him.
Could be.
Because Priscilla still was in charge. All right, you have a good one, Yvette.
See you, Yvette.
Oh, these streams hit and miss sometimes, but there were so many other people streaming, and I knew I wouldn't have a huge audience.
It was fun to see Doctor Who because right before I joined you, I was on YouTube just to see if there was anything happening before I turned on Doctor Who here. So I'm glad I found you.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you come by. We do this quite often lately. If it's not just sitting up here streaming and talking about stuff or playing Jackbox, we throw in some movies and sit here and shoot the shit about them as we watch them.
That's always my favorite.
And it's like I've got plenty to go through. I can even go through the whole Sarah Jane Adventures. I may even do Canine and Company. I may do Canine and Company. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's watched Doctor Who that probably have yet to see Canine and Company. The first
and also the TV version of Quatermass and the Pit.
Yep.
Because if you want to know where Doctor Who came from, that is not the starting place, but it's close. It was a huge influence.
And then if we get really desperate on the late night streams, we could do Torchwood.
I only watched a little of Torchwood. There's that first episode where they've got this alien trapped in a corridor, and this guy's going, "Oh, it's a great costume in it." And he walks up to the alien grabs him by the throat, and all this fake blood gushes out. And I started laughing. I didn't really watch more than that.
Well, Torchwood wasn't bad until they got to that so-called fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
that it was basically just 2 members from Torchwood left. They killed off everybody else. And no, Professor, I will not show Class. I will not watch Class. It completely sucked. I don't even have Class in my collection. Professor loved Torchwood's 3rd season, though, Children of Earth.
Yeah, Class is not in my collection or my headcanon.
No, I leave it out. But this new Who just pisses me off so much, how they changed everything, eliminated Unit.
Yeah, apparently they changed UNIT to Unified Intelligence Task Force because they thought it would be politically incorrect to tie the UN in with UNIT's activities. And I thought, no, you really should have that in there because you can have a story about the UN that's been taken over by Zygons or something, or by Rutans, because they both could do it. And then you would have that conflict of interest where UNIT is told to stand down by the UN. The doctor saying the person giving the order isn't human. This is not a lawful order. That would have been very interesting.
Even though basically at one point the doctor was put in charge of everything of Unit.
Right. Right.
And
Episode.
I did love during Capaldi's run how they did give the nod to Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, even though he was a Cyberman at the time.
Yeah. Professor Brainy Speck says supposedly the UN complained about UNIT when the new series was bringing it back. That very well could be. Although what I imagine is some undersecretary who barely has the authority to make a pot of coffee calling the BBC and saying, you can't do this.
I may even have to make Professor Brainy Specs really happy and do some episodes with Sylvester McCoy.
Oh, that'd be fun. It's been a while since I've seen Battlefield Extended. Not that I'm hinting, but it's been a while.
Well, we may just do that here soon too.
Unless Professor has another suggestion, because he's a much bigger Seventh Doctor and Ace fan than I am. I like them very much, but he is like their number one fans. Beavis and Butthead laugh. He said a unit. Ha 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 ha.
Cool. Cool.
You realize we could do a live stream just using those voices?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, bring on the dollar. Yeah, cool.
Shut up, butt munch. Huh.
Of course, one that is on my list will be the 5 Doctors.
Definitely.
Even though poor Tom isn't really in it, but it was a good 25th anniversary episode.
It was exactly what the viewing public at the time expected, and it was delivered. Now, we can look back and say maybe it wasn't as good as it could have been, but at the time, if it had been better, we'd have all been saying, great, yeah, fantastic. But one reason Doctor Who was slowly dying on the vine was because of Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars boosted all science fiction, but Empire put the bar so high that killed Buck Rogers in America, and it killed Battlestar Galactica in America, and so on. There's just so few films could ever measure up to that, let alone TV shows. So,
well, Buck Rogers killed itself going out on the Searcher.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that too.
The only good character that ever came out of that second season was Hawk.
Hawk was awesome.
I loved Hawk, and I loved his fighter. But some of them episodes were really bad.
Yeah.
Changing
Really
Tweaky's
maudlin.
voice.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason they would change Tweaky's voice is they couldn't afford Mel Blanc anymore, which is silly.
And then you hardly got anything from Wilma. She just mostly ran around in her skirt, which made no sense either.
And Professor Brainy Speck says, no, not the mind probe.
But yeah, I made you a double feature that day of the 5 Doctors and the 50th anniversary special.
Oh, okay.
Because I screamed when I first heard Tom Baker's voice as the curator.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm glad he showed up for that.
The only disappointment I had from the 50th was no Eccleston.
Yeah.
Sure, they tried to blend his face in just slightly there as the War Doctor regenerated, but it just wasn't the same.
No, sir. All 13.
Yeah, that was a pretty shocking moment too, when you actually
Yeah.
saw Capaldi show up for that eye shot.
Yeah.
Capaldi would have been my number 2 Doctor if he just had better writing.
Yeah.
But that damn shit they're writing nowadays on it.
Well, they turned it into the Clara show with Doctor Who.
Yeah, Clara, I couldn't stand by the end.
No, I couldn't stand the character. I thought Jenna Louise Coleman could have been the next Sarah Jane if they'd written her right.
But they didn't.
Nope.
I kind of get a little flack because my favorite companion of the new Who run actually is Martha Jones.
Yeah, she was good.
I really didn't like too much of the other ones.
My wife likes the who did Catherine Tate play? I can't remember the name all of a sudden.
Donna Noble.
Donna. She liked Donna, still likes Donna because she's the companion who will talk back to the Doctor and put him in his place. And as she puts it, after 3 years of the assistant mooning over this guy, finally someone to say, "You're not doing that, sunshine."
Donna had her moments. I just didn't like how they did to her at the end. She never got to remember anything.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
I did like Wilford though.
He was good. Yeah.
And of course, I like Captain Jack. He's good comedy relief.
He is.
And of course, I had a big crush on River Song.
The actress who played River Song did a really fine job, but I never really bought the Doctor would marry her.
Spoilers.
I don't know if that's just because, I just don't know if I was getting old at that point or if the writing was just not convincing me. Alex
Probably
Kingston.
Writing mostly, but I just hope they don't try to bring her back into this new season coming up.
Oh, I'm sure they'll try.
They're trying to pull out everything they can to try to boost their ratings, and
Yeah.
that's why they brought Jack back.
How long was he in the new series? Was it 5 minutes? Less?
Yeah, they were hoping that much would do it for him, but I guess he's supposed to.
Strange.
He's supposed to show up again in this new season they got coming out at some point. There was even rumors that they were going to try to bring Tenet back.
Now, have you looked at any of the Time Lord Victoria stories?
There was one I think I saw.
Was it any good?
It wasn't bad. And yes, Professor, you are right. Captain Jack was in the holiday special quite a bit longer. The first one was like a 5-minute or a 3-minute tease if they had him in one episode, and they brought him back for the holiday episode. He played a bigger part in it, but still, I just can't handle this shit of the timeless child. Hartnell isn't the first Doctor anymore. It's just, let's kill off all the Time Lords and turn them into cyber Time Lords.
Yeah, it got pretty ridiculous there. I think I would have been happier with Darth Jar Jar than I would be with this whole timeless child mess.
I'm still upset when they changed the Master to Missy. I think the Ronnie would have been a much better choice.
Yeah.
Bring the Ronnie back. Have her lying that she's the Master. But then eventually he finds out that it's really...
Oh, that would be interesting. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I hear a kitty.
Yeah, that cat is telling me in no uncertain terms that food is owed and due.
Professor Brainy Specs has a theory. He should just pop up here on the panel and tell us the theory. It would be so much quicker.
Yeah, Professor, jump into the chat here.
You know the link's up there at the top. I put it up there all the time. I've got pretty much all the idiots blocked from getting in. Yes, time can be rewritten. Get a new writing team and all that, and rewrite that whole timeless child BS as a lie from the Master.
Well, there's a rumor that they're going to show that this whole thing was a trick of the Master and the timeless child is Yaz or something like that. I don't know how much of these rumors actually mean anything. There was always that out because the whole thing was based on the Master's word. The real issue probably, it may be like a Jar Jar situation where the worst issue is not that you have the timeless child story ending on a cliffhanger where you wonder, is this true? The worst thing is how Chibnall treated the fans when they said, we don't like this. If he would have said something like, I understand, but just wait, the story's not entirely through yet. Stick with it. I promise you'll like the payoff. He could have gotten a few people like me to say, okay, well, I will wait and see what the payoff is. But his attitude has been so rotten that it's kind of hard to do that. You don't get the sense he cares what we think, and we're the ones paying for all the stuff the BBC licenses.
Hell, they could even do a old Dallas trope. And it gets to the point to where Whitaker's doctor's regenerating, and next thing you know, you see Capaldi there again in the middle of his regeneration saying, whoa, what a bad dream.
You know, Dr. Alex actually did that in his homegrown rewrite of season 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's, Peter Capaldi wakes up in the sonic shower in the TARDIS.
Dr. Alex does some good stuff.
He does. I've been listening to his season 12 as I make some long drives. Yes, Kitty.
I had Dr. Alex on when I did the final Doctor Who debate with some fans of the new Doctor. It's the only reason why I melted my brain watching Whittaker's Doctor was because of those debates.
Gotcha. I was telling my wife how bad Orphan 55 had been reviewed by the fans, and so she said, "Have you seen it?" So I haven't seen it yet. You want to watch it now? Yeah, let's watch it now. So we fire it up, and we'll get about 5 minutes in, and she turns to me and goes, "What's supposed to be happening?" That was the end of that.
Hello, Darren.
Hello, Deej. Hello, OMG.
Hey, man.
I don't think I've met. I just wanted to pop on and say I second the idea of Bob Newharting the Jodie Whittaker Doctor.
There we go. Just the whole ending of Bob Newhart, where he wakes up and he's in bed with his wife from his previous series.
Right. Yep. Problem is you have to get him back to film that.
Oh, I think he would do it. He didn't want to go in the first place. He was still ready to continue playing the Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was Chin Balls that said, "When I take over, I'm having my own Doctor."
Yeah. I just, it's funny to me. It's so funny in an amazing, negatively amazing way that how much they have mangled and deformed their own mythos, their own product, in the name of short-term, immediate socio-political significance.
All the big
Right
fans are doing it.
I mean, the worst thing you can possibly do to a lifelong fan of something is to tell them you really don't know anything about the character that you've been invested in all these years. It's especially when you fundamentally alter it. In 1986, DC Comics did their first reboot of their continuity. And there were people who were very upset, but the thing was, nothing was really fundamentally changed, and this fundamentally changed everything, and of course, now that the Doctor can be something other than a Caucasian British man, everybody's clamoring for a Doctor now that represents them. And it's not everybody, I should say that. Just a bunch of vocal people who aren't actually fans of the show.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of these people that keep clamoring for it aren't watching it.
Right, exactly. They're just agitators, instigators, the Twitter types. We're seeing that also on the Marvel side too, with now that Captain America can essentially be anybody. Everybody now, people who want to stir up the pot want okay, where's our Hispanic Captain America? Where's our our gay Captain America? Where it's representation it's all done in the name of representation, and to me that's not why these characters exist.
No, it's called laziness. They don't want to come up with a good idea for one.
Right.
They just want to take what's there and change it.
And there were plenty of female fans of Doctor Who prior to Jodie Whittaker taking over.
We had one in the chat just a little while ago, Yvette, and she can't stand this new Doctor Who.
Yeah. Well, see, little secret. No, I won't say it. That would be deemed too sexist by your audience. Never mind. But suffice it to say, I met guys in service who read comic books. Some of them were black, and one guy, his favorite character was Nightwing, who is not black, or Peter Parker, who Spider-Man. And they didn't need the character to happen to resemble them in any way physically for them to enjoy those stories. So, yeah.
Yeah, how many male science fiction fans love the hell out of Aliens and Ripley?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, especially after that second film, where you had her absorbing traits from those Marines that she was with.
Yeah.
Or they love the original version of Sarah Connor.
Exactly. Yep. And we liked watching her overcome the orderlies in her mental institution, for example. And but of course now the next step is to make them her a hateful, spiteful, bitter old bitch. It just, yeah. It just seems like everything's going backwards to me right now, and.
I agree.
But getting back to Doctor Who here for a moment, yeah. The sad thing is that BBC had a cash cow in Doctor Who. Americans in particular loved watching that show, And I'm sorry, they got a lot more revenue from Americans watching it than people in England watching it.
Yep.
We don't have a TV licensing fee, okay? You were getting advertising revenue from it airing in the States on our non-governmentally controlled TV stations. And, you kill the brand, you get us to stop watching it, and that money you were counting on is going to dry up.
Yeah, because unlike the licensing fee in Britain, that all has to be spread around to everything they do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, once science fiction franchises became a means to sell toys and posters, etc., it became about that primarily. And then I believe what happened is once Jodie got established and fans started drifting away, they realized we're not making the money we used to. And they were torn because they liked all the messaging. They just wanted more money out of it.
Yeah. Well, there comes a point where a lot of these, and I've seen this happen before in comic books, of course, and other franchises, where the creative people, or the so-called creative people, or the people in charge of these franchises stop trying to entertain us, and they try to entertain each other.
That fits.
And yeah, and it's and this is where we get this whole thing to, yeah. So
one reason classical Who died is they started worrying about, will this show appeal to the rabid fan base as opposed to the general public?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, in 1989 when it got canceled because BBC had a new program director who hated the show, or more specifically, his mother hated the show, and and his canceling of that show was like his gift to her.
Wow.
Yeah. Now the ratings were starting to go, belly up, and I think retiring the franchise for a little while was a good idea, but yeah, it didn't have to be gone for that long. But
No.
Yeah.
And when they brought it back in 2005, it was fairly good.
Yeah, they didn't try to reinvent the wheel either. I mean, and what I liked about it was it wasn't a reboot, it wasn't a reimagining, it was a continuation. They just said, okay, production values have changed on TV. Everything that happened before on the old serials still happened. And we're just moving forward. And that was the way to do it,
And they did it in such a clever way to have a brand new companion say, "Who are you?" And then the doctor admit, "I have a past, but I'm not going to tell you all about it."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really good. The average audience is going to get pulled in on that. And all of us, the Rabbit Who fans, are going, "Oh, we know the history. We've got it all on VHS," or whatever it was back in 2005.
Exactly. There was a way they could get new people and old people at the same time and keep them both satisfied.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a hell of a big thing when they brought back Sarah Jane.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember it being a big thing when you saw the head of a Cyberman for the first time in Eccleston's run, and it's like, and it's an authentic prop from one of the old shows, and people were just going crazy about that, the fact that they acknowledged it and there it was physically there, and of course that was the episode Dalek, which also featured a Dalek, so it was kind of overshadowed there, but yeah.
I even loved how in Capaldi's run they brought back the original Cybermen.
Yeah, that was neat to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the equivalent. That was the Doctor Who equivalent of when Enterprise brought back, the original series sets for In the Mirror Darkly.
Yep.
It was and they made them work too. But there were so many things that Russell T Davies did, and also Moffat initially in his run that were so right. For example, the Silurians, right? Mm-hmm. I loved that they initially show us the Silurians as they looked on the old show, and then they have one of them pull the mask off, the faceplate. And what was so great about that was that, okay, obviously, yes, we could tell these were actors wearing lizard masks, right? But then for them to establish that, no, the reason why they looked like lizard masks was because they actually were, in fact, masks, part of their helmet and their headpiece. And then when they take the faceplate off, there's modern lizard man makeup underneath that on the actor. It added a dimension to any time you saw the Silurians again in the previous show, in the old classic show. You're like, oh, yeah, I know what they look like underneath there now. It makes them even more interesting when you go back. That's how you enhance something without making fun of it or whatnot. You get inside the makeup design and you make it better.
Yeah, they did something similar with the Ice Warriors. They admitted that suit is a suit.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, Enterprise did some stuff with the Tellarite makeup, and of course they animated the Andorian, antenna and stuff like that. So, but I mean, otherwise they maintained the classic look. The only place I think where they didn't do that was probably the Gorn, but what I liked about the Gorn that they had on Enterprise was it suggested that maybe there's more than one kind of Gorn,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have loved it if they would have established that the Gorn's eyes, those insect segmented eyes, were actually just contact lenses that he was wearing because he couldn't handle the bright sun or something. Like the Gorn equivalent of sunglasses. But, didn't get there. Didn't get to that. But or a better example was the Tholian. When they showed the Tholian in the decon chamber, it was the same alien. We're just showing you more of it now, and we're showing you what the rest of their bodies look like instead of just being these weird sort of crystal, totems that were in front of the screen. Now we actually show that they have legs and arms and things like that. But yeah. I mean, they didn't. Doctor Who didn't reinvent the wheel when they showed us the Centaurans. They just took the design and improved it with modern techniques.
Yeah, I had no problem with the Centaurans.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say the Centaurans were actually better written in the new series than the old.
Yeah. Well, they made them a comedic for they were a threat, but they were kind of funny in their own way. I mean, even the Stahl the Undefeated, he was a kind of a funny little guy. He almost reminded me of like the way dwarves are handled in some of the Tolkien movies. Little feisty warrior people, and then of course Drax, became the Centauran.
Hmm.
You know, and yeah.
It's always interesting. You can have a small person and a tall person. They'll be afraid of the tall person and laugh at the small person. But in reality, the tall person could be as gentle as you can imagine, and the short person is the one who knows how to use a knife.
Yeah, my dad always told me never ever pick a fight with a little guy, because it's a lose-lose scenario. If you pick a fight with a little guy and you win, nobody gives a shit because you beat up a little guy. But if the little guy wins, oh man, you just got beat up by a little guy. There's no never pick a fight with a little guy. He always said.
Yeah.
You know, so. Let's see, what was it? You know, there were some original aliens in Russell T Davies' run that I liked a lot too. The Queen of the Rachnos I thought was really great, even though it was a budget effect. That actress who played that queen sold it, you know.
She did sell it.
That's still one of my favorite aliens on the show was her, because she was so evil, and yet you understood her pain towards the end when they're flooding the tube, and you know her offspring were going to die, because that's how you kill spiders. Yeah.
Yeah. So I take it Elihu lost his nerd card.
I'm hoping he did.
What happened? What did he do to himself now?
They were playing over on Vile Mike's channel Star Wars Nerd Jeopardy tonight.
It's almost impossible to be an expert on all the major franchises. I mean, you know, if you had Stargate or you know any other show like that, those second tier sci-fi shows that everybody loves, has the fan following. I couldn't answer a single question either.
I could probably do Stargate.
Yeah, but if this was Star Wars trivia, and what question killed him, or were there multiple ones? Oh, okay.
He didn't even make it into the final round.
Wow.
Apparently, Michael T won Star Wars.
Okay.
And I know I think JJ was supposed to be in one of them and everything else. So,
you know, if they wanted a female doctor, what I would have done, I would have had the original Doctor disappear, and I would have had some other Time Lord like the Ronnie show up or something, or Romana, and assume the identity and the name of the Doctor to go looking for him.
Dr. Alex had a good idea in that regards.
Yeah.
And it would have involved bringing back Susan in the 11th hour, pun intended.
Yeah.
And the Doctor dies because that's the end of his lifespan, but he hands on the mantle to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there it is. There you got your female Doctor, and it makes complete sense, and all the fans, the existing fans are happy, and the new fans are happy. It would have been wonderful.
But what they did here was so much more selfish. He said not only does the Doctor now have to be a female, but she has to be a female from the get-go. We have to totally undermine all the history.
And she's not even Gallifreyan.
Yeah, exactly. They and that's another thing. They want to make these characters into totally unique things.
Well, they basically did that because they wanted to push the narrative that anybody from Gallifrey was actually bad to begin with.
Right.
You're not supposed to cheer for a Gallifreyan.
Yeah, which is dumb. Very dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I understand, the Time Lords are all dead again.
Yeah, because the Master changed them all into cyber Time Lords.
Oh, man.
So now they're Cybermen, but they look like Time Lords because for whatever reason.
Yeah. And that's another bad idea, especially when we just came out of 10 plus years of the Doctor being this epic character, the last of the Time Lords, where all the Time Lords were dead for the most part. And then they finally brought them all back in a way that made sense based on what we'd seen in the past. And then Chibnall, in his infinite wisdom and boundless creativity, decided to make them all dead again. You know?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Gallifrey Falls no more.
Right.
Right.
They weren't supposed to be tossed aside anymore. And then
Mhm.
if they wanted to do a female Time Lord, they should have just made a second series.
I agree.
Like Romana.
Well, you know, it's so weird because the first TV story that established that a Time Lord could change gender was the Doctor's Wife episode written by Neil Gaiman, right? And, you know, a lot of people pointed out that in Doctor Who continuity, there were Time Lords and Time Ladies, and they had very different regeneration patterns, and there was never any suggestion that they could do that. And he used as his, and I'm going to call it an excuse. He used as his excuse a throwaway line from Matt Smith when he first regenerates, where he's checking himself out and he feels his length of his hair and says, oh, yeah, I'm a girl. And then he feels his Adam's apple and realizes he's not a girl. And, you know, what makes that such a poor excuse is that we know it's been established that when the Doctor first regenerates, oftentimes he's crazy for a little while. You know, he says all kinds of weird stuff. His senses are all on fire. You know, he's just, you know, he's bewildered all the time. And for him to say that was his, you know, that he didn't really establish that it was established in that line of dialogue, that was incredibly weak. But that was it. You know, once they throw out the idea that the Doctor could regenerate into a girl, and then of course the next thing they did was they made the Master into Missy, you know, which was dumb because we already had a female Time Lady, you know, a time lady that was sort of a Master Light character in the Ronnie that they could have brought back. Fans would have gone ape shit over that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know. And there's only one reason why they've made the Master a female, and that is so that the next step will be that the Doctor will be, you know, and yeah.
Well, hell, even a better idea was instead of Missy being the Master or the Ronnie, Missy could have been Romana pissed off at the Doctor for some reason.
Exactly. In fact, you know, they could have even done something really head crazy, like having Romana eventually become the Ronnie. You know, so that we didn't know that they were the same person until, you know, a revelation or something. I mean, they could have done all kinds of things like that.
Or Missy could have been Susan, coming back still pissed off for being abandoned on Earth.
Yep, with that man that she ended up not liking or something. You know? Yeah. Yeah. There were so many people that Missy could have been. Mm-hmm. But they had an agenda. They wanted to establish that Time Lords can change gender.
And there also was a theory in the 2010s among these sci-fi creators and property owners that we can change the audience at will. We can deliberately shift from one demographic to the other, and we'll lose the old bunch, yes, but we'll gain a new bunch, and this group is more loyal and more politically correct according to our vision of how life should be. And we'll just make this change and everything will be fine and lovely. And they tried it and it didn't work, and it hasn't worked once. And there's certain signs that perhaps they're starting to wake up to that fact.
Well, where do they start really the effects of their, you know, of their bad decisions start hitting them, you know? It's like the writer who has this great new idea to totally piss off a fan base of a franchise, and then all of a sudden he or she doesn't have a job, and he's wondering what the hell happened. Well, you know.
Well, you
Apparently
kind of
that's
see
what's happening in comics.
Oh, that's been happening in comics for 20 years. Go ahead.
You kind of see it a little bit with this Lois and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really pushing agendas in that way.
Oh yeah.
They're making decent stories for a change.
Yeah, I mean, over on this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It is the WB though, so I don't have too much faith in them holding to it.
Well, it's very strange because before, you know, what was weird was for a while there, you'd have these little anomalies like this Superman Lois show, or I remember before that there was a Swamp Thing series that got killed because there was huge buzz about it. And it was like, and the reason why it was getting huge buzz was because it wasn't woke. Test audiences said, made a point of saying that, that test copy said this wasn't woke, and it wasn't like all the other Warner Brothers television shows based on DC Comics characters, and they pulled it.
Ooh.
They put, and you have to think that it's because they didn't want this other show to make all the rest of their shows look bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Kathleen Kennedy didn't want The Mandalorian because it makes all her shit look like shit, by comparison,
I still think there's going to be a bait and switch on the Lois, though. Superman show.
Well, yeah.
Arrow started off good. Legends of Tomorrow started off good, and then they completely switched after the first couple of seasons and went with the woke bullshit, and they all fell apart.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, they get, they know that a lot of people don't. They want to get the biggest possible audience right away, and then they gradually whittle it. It's almost like a bait and switch tactic.
They tried their woke garbage right off the bat with Batwoman. Look how poor it did.
Oh, we lost OMG.
Yep, he fell out. All right, OMG, have a good one and come back anytime.
I should have let him speak. He could have told you by himself. Anywho.
Yeah, I'm not going much longer anyway. I got other plans I got to do tonight.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Spend time with the girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Got to do that, yeah.
But I had to do a Doctor Who watch party, so that's what I did.
There's evidence people are finding all over the place that Chibnall, who apparently was like the president of the Doctor Who fan club or something for a while, actually hates the show.
Yep.
That he has all this cred, and one of my personal theories I keep coming back to is with all these franchises that these franchises are being ran by people who hated the fans. If you look at, let me see if I can find the picture here. When Marvel Comics first started getting woke, it was like hardcore woke, like throw all of the adventuring and action away and just have characters standing around talking to each other all issue about stuff that nobody cares about, right? There was a picture of their editor staff, and I'm looking to see if I got a picture of it here. I promise this won't take too long. Usually I have all my images pretty well sorted, but...
Well, while you throw that up, I'm going to do something really quick for Richie.
I'm Sissa Prey, and you're watching Deej, the odd one.
Cracks me up at the end of that. She gives him that look like, how dare you make me do this?
Who was that? Was that your girlfriend or?
No, that was Bird's sister.
Oh, Bird's sister. I never seen her before. Oh.
It cracks me up. That look that she gives him right at the end. Like, I'm gonna
okay.
kill you.
Here's the picture. I'm going to go ahead and share screen. Let me know when you see it. There it is. Okay. So Heather Antos was editor at Marvel who was hired when everybody, all the creative people all of a sudden left. Brian Michael Bendis and a few other of his closest friends in the indie comics industry took over Marvel Comics, worked there for 10 years, didn't cultivate any new talent or anything, and then just left one day. And so they had to fill this void, and so they went out to the colleges and offered job positions. And Heather Antos, who wanted to be in publishing but didn't know a thing about comics, didn't care about comics, got hired. And of course, what did she do? She hired all of her college girlfriends, right? So this is the famous milkshake incident picture where she goes on Twitter and posts this, and people's reaction were, "Oh, gee, no wonder I'm hating Marvel Comics now." These are the girls in high school that used to snub comic book readers, guys who read comics, right?
Yep.
And some of them are trying to look nerdy, but they're looking fashionably nerdy. But otherwise, that's it. Now, of course, you'll notice that there's a hashtag fabulous flow on that image. Do you want to know what that's about?
Yeah, tell me. Even though I can probably guess.
Flo Steinberg was here. Let me stop sharing. Flo Steinberg was a Stan Lee's secretary for many years, and she was also an editor at Marvel Comics for a while. Well, she died, and Marvel, brass told Heather, you have to post something on social media recognizing Flo Steinberg, and the only picture she had of her and her staff, or her editorial staff, was that picture from when they went out to get milkshakes in New York City. So even though that image was totally inappropriate for some sort of farewell message to her, to Flo Steinberg, that's the one she picked, and she didn't, there was the only reference to Flo Steinberg was that hashtag fabulous Flo, which nobody understands the context of, right? So when people started commenting about how this is why Marvel Comics is not fun to read anymore, look who's in charge, look who's calling the shots, she accused us, those detractors of being, garbage people because, I was just posting an image in honor of Flo Steinberg. It's like, well, you can't glean that from that image. Nobody knows what you meant by fabulous Flo, right? In fact, a lot of people would probably think of something else.
I did.
Something that's not very nice. Exactly.
I thought maybe it was their monthly get together.
Yeah. And so, and again, just ineptitude. They didn't understand their audience. They didn't understand anything. So now all of a sudden we've got, Thor being replaced by a woman, with the hammer. You've got, and just every white superhero has been replaced with a minority version that it isn't wouldn't be so bad if they were actually good characters, but they're not. And so, and Marvel can't go back. That's the really terrible thing. I mean, Marvel Comics really isn't making any money anymore. They're just an R&D division for Disney. So, I mean, they're probably never going to come back to anything like what they were before.
Yeah, it's a complete shit show now.
Yeah. But, anywho.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get off here.
Can I see Bird's sister again? Can you show me that?
You want the old version or the new version?
The one that you just showed.
Because I have two versions of her doing this.
Okay, I didn't get a very good look at it because I was still looking for that picture when you put up the other one. So
for Richie, I will do both of them.
Okay.
He will enjoy this.
I'm Ciso Prey, and I'd like you to please subscribe to DJ Odyssey, the odd one.
I'm Ciso Prey, and you're watching Deej, the odd one.
You're right. That is funny that she just kind of turns the face off and walks away.
Yep, and just looks over out of the corner of her eye like, yeah, okay, it's done.
I'm assuming that's all Bird stuff on that TV set. Thing
Yeah, that's his Lego stuff up there and everything
Oh, it's
else.
Legos. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. All right, well. I guess I'll take my leave.
You have a good night, Darren. And
You too, Deej.
Richie and Professor Brainy Specs. Old media guy. Thanks for all stopping by. You bet. Robert. Commodore Ty, Curtis. And I'm going to get out of here and, hell, maybe go watch some more Doctor Who. Who knows? Multi-Gunman. This is the odd one. I'm out. May the 4th Doctor be with you.